Hello, my friends. My book is out now, The Day After AI. It's a philosophical novel for your own self-discovery, self-exploration. And it's out now on Amazon. We have the international edition and we have a German edition. And I want to give you here and now a free chapter, which is a central chapter. It was exactly the moment in the story when work disappeared. And I know many of you are scared about AI and the future. That's why I picked a quite optimistic scenario here. Because I'm sure if we believe into a positive future, there's a higher chance that we will create this future. I want to invite you to follow this channel here on YouTube, because I will give you more details. We dive deeper into some stories, some examples here. And of course, I will tell a bit about my life, because I escaped, let's say, this system since 3 years. And it is not like what you think it is. It's different. And this is in the book. So it's based on my personal experience. I know the story of this tourist in the book is possible. Have fun. And here's now the chapter.
Chapter 7. When Work Disappeared. Among the countless stories people told about the future, one eventually came true. Artificial intelligence began to take over more and more human work. Many believed it would become a disaster. Experts warned of mass unemployment, economic collapse, hunger, social unrest, a society destroyed by its own technology. None of it happened, at least not in the way people had imagined. The quiet revolution. The change did not arrive with the loud bang of a collapsing economy. It slipped quietly through fiber optic cables and data centers. There was no single day when everything changed. No sirens, no dramatic speech on television, no moment that everyone would later remember. And yet, everything was changing. Companies began automating entire business functions. First, individual tasks disappeared. Soon after, entire departments. Finally, whole companies and professions. The new systems designed products, created marketing campaigns, negotiated sales, analyzed financial reports, diagnosed diseases, managed global supply chains. They worked day and night, without ever taking a break, fully motivated, without fatigue, at a speed no human being could match. At first, many believed it would happen to someone else. Not me. That hope didn't last long. The software engineer received the same message as the office administrator. The graphic designer said goodbye to his colleagues. Soon after, the lawyer. A little later, the department head. Even human resources, the team that had conducted so many termination talks, was eventually dissolved. The great surprise. For the first time, an unusual feeling emerged. Shame began to lose its power. How could anyone feel ashamed of losing a job when half the street had lost theirs too? This was exactly the moment the great catastrophe was supposed to begin. At least, almost everyone had predicted it. Yet it never came. Instead, something happened that almost no one had expected. Abundance. Within a short time, new societal solutions emerged, securing the basic needs of all people. Almost overnight, elementary material worries were solved. Housing, food, healthcare. The essentials were available to everyone. No one had to fight for survival anymore. Whether you still had a job or not, your refrigerator was no longer empty. The nightmare of mass poverty never arrived. Instead, many people felt something completely different and new. Relief and abundance. One morning, a former chief financial officer bumped into a machine operator from his former company at a bakery. In the past, they were separated by hierarchies, floors, and roles. Today, they were simply two people standing in the same line. The machine operator smiled. "Well?" The former executive smiled back. "I guess we've both got plenty of time now." They laughed. "What about going jogging tomorrow morning?" It was as if everyone was suddenly sitting in the same boat. After years of competition and separation, many people felt connected again. They felt they belonged together. Time. Many people realized they finally possessed the one thing they had been chasing their entire lives. Time. Not an afternoon off. Not 3 weeks of vacation, not a long weekend. Time. Unscheduled time. For the first time, there was nowhere they had to be on Monday morning. On another Tuesday, a young woman sat beside an open window with a cup of coffee. In the past, her alarm would already have gone off. She would have fought her way through rush-hour traffic just to arrive at her desk on time. Now, she took a deep breath. No appointments, no emails, no meetings, just this morning. And time. Time for everything that had always had to wait. Endless Sunday. This mixture of relief and euphoria spread like a warm summer wind. Life began to feel like one endless Sunday. In a bright studio, a man stood in front of a large canvas, mixing colors. He had lost his job in an IT department. Instead of frustration, he felt an explosion of creativity. Finally, he could do what he had always wanted to do. Across the cities, creative projects, community workshops, urban gardens, cooking groups, and small studios sprouted up. The parks were alive every day of the week. People met for walks, played chess, played music, or simply sat together for hours talking. Others found a quiet place and read a book. On a Thursday afternoon, a father built a treehouse in the garden with his children. In the past, he had often seen his children only late at night or only for a few hours at the weekend, exhausted from work. Now, laughing, he handed the hammer to his son. The greatest wealth was no longer money. It was time. A former factory worker sailed through the Greek islands with his partner. For the first time, they spent weeks together without thinking about meetings or emails. Without hurry, one family bought a camper van and traveled across Europe for months. A grandfather spent whole afternoons with his grandchildren. Others finally visited the places they had dreamed about for years: the desert, the Himalayas, the Northern Lights. In cafes, the same sentence was heard more and more often. Honestly, it's not so bad after all, isn't it? Historians. Years later, historians agreed that this period looked, from a distance, like a golden age of liberation. People believed they had finally escaped the endless wheel of work and achievement. They had lost their jobs and gained the freedom they had always dreamed of. Everyone believed they had solved the great puzzle of human history. At last, life could begin. A life of endless happiness, of lasting peace. Looking back, historians knew something the people could not yet see. The real story had only just begun.